Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Guy Wozniak, and with me, as always, is my good friend and co-host, Matt.
Hey.
And we are the Comic Book Guys. Now, some of you might remember a little while back, we did a video that did very well, got a lot of views, so thank you to everyone that watched it. That was amazing.
Yeah.
But we did a video called Comic Book Shop Red Flags or something to that effect. And Matt was out of town recently, and he had an idea. So tell the folks what you were thinking.
Yeah, I was out of town recently in the Clearwater area, and I went to a comic shop called Emerald City Comics. And I had such a fantastic experience in this comic shop. I thought, you know what? Why don't we do a video about the positive things comic shops do? Things comic shops do that really draw you in, and they really treat their customers right, and it's done well.
All right, well, since this is your idea, and we printed out our list here, we got 7 points. We could probably go on and do many, many more, but kick us off. What do you got for number one on comic shop green flags, if you will?
Knowledgeable staff. Like when I went into Emerald City, and this has happened to me at the overwhelming majority of comic shops that I go into, is the staff, they know what they're talking about. I'll go in there and they'll say, hey, what can we help you with today? What are you looking for? You know, is there anything you need? And I'll tell them, hey, I'm looking for this, this, and this. And the staff, okay, those are right over there, or those are right over there. Or, you know what, let me see if I can find some for you. The staff that they know what they're talking about, they know where everything is in the store. That's fantastic. What a great experience. And plus, based on what you're purchasing or what you're asking for, they even make recommendations. And more times than not, I'm going to follow up on that, and I'm going to buy some books that they're recommending to me. It's happened to me several times. And sometimes, you know, it's not my cup of tea, but more often than not, I end up buying those books.
You know what I used to love? When we had a comic book store here locally years ago, I loved going in there and Bob being like, oh, check this out. This just came out. This was new. Mm-hmm. He's read every one of these comic books on Wednesday before we've even gotten to the store. Yes. And he's like, this was awesome. Check this out. I loved getting those recommendations, those suggestions from the owners that you know, they're in the front lines day in, day out, and they know what's going on. Yeah. I might be, I don't know, out of comic books for 6 months or a year, and I come back into the store and I'm like, hey, what's new? And he's like, oh, you got to catch up on this. You got to catch up on that. You got to do this. That's happened to me many, many times over the years. And man, I love when that used to happen. And I love going into any other new comic book store that I've never been to. And they're like, you know, what are you into? What do you like? Oh, well, let me help you find something that you maybe would like that's also related to it or similar to it. Those suggestions are worth their weight in gold when it comes to looking for new stuff to read.
Oh, yeah. And you can absolutely tell when you go in and into any comic shop and just talking to these people, anybody that works there or runs the place, you can tell if they're fans. And that's always the best experience, when someone that running the place is also a fan of comics.
Now, there's another angle to this, though, actually. It's not for me. I'm going to be upfront. I don't care about comic book investing or speculating or flipping, but there's plenty of stores out there, I assume. I mean, I haven't experienced every store in the world, but there's lots of stores out there where they're going to be really up on like what's hot in terms of price, what's hot in terms of, you know, what people are looking for. Maybe get you ahead of the curve. Like, hey, you know what's hot right now is Absolute Batman, you know? Maybe 6 months ago or 12 months ago, when it was still affordable, because, man, Absolute Batman #1 is crazy expensive right now. You could have had a comic book store owner that was like, this is getting hot, man. You should get on this before it's too late, before the prices get out of control. If you can find a store like that, that's like in tune with the market.
I have been in some comic shops that have that like the hot titles, they'll have like a shelf behind the register or off to the side. Say, hey, these are the hot titles right now. These are what's on fire. This is what everyone's talking about. Yeah. That's awesome.
That I would love. And again, I haven't experienced that myself, but just imagining like, oh, you know, having the resource of a comic book owner or an employee that just knows what's on the bleeding edge, you know, that would be worth its weight in gold as well, and save you a lot of money in the long run, because you know to get onto it before the prices go through the roof.
They're working in a comic shop. They know what's selling.
Right.
You know, and to try to recommend it to other readers and get them interested in it, that's awesome.
All right, what do you say we jump on to number 2? So on our list for number 2, and this is probably one of the most important things to me when it comes to comic book shops, because I just like thumbing through back issues.
Who doesn't?
I want a lot of selection. I want a large back issue selection of good books, not just dollar bin books. Dollar bin books can be fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're going to find that little hidden gem or that just one book in your collection that for that hole you need to fill in it.
But for me, I want like big back issues of the stuff that's a little bit more expensive, like just long, huge runs of Amazing Spider-Man. And I'm like, got it, need it, got it, need it. I love doing that when you just know you're going to pull 10 or 20 or 30 titles or 30 issues that you're missing in your run. That to me is the best.
That's the best. And there's sometimes I will walk into a comic shop, I'll be out of town or something, and I like to hit up all the comic shops that I can, when on my out-of-town trips. I go on a lot of out-of-town trips, mostly in Florida. And I walk into a comic shop and I just see row after row of long boxes of back issues. I'm going to be in here forever.
And my wallet is going to cry before I leave.
I'm going to be in here a long time. So, but you know what? That's all the fun. I love that. But the only time it really bothers me is, oh man, I was going to hit up another, 1 or 2 comic shops, but I'm going to be spending the rest of my day here for sure.
Oh yeah, that's kind of the worst actually. It's like you go somewhere like, I don't know, let's just say hypothetically, because we're going to MegaCon in Orlando soon. You go to Orlando and there's a bunch of shops there, and like you can't get to them all, or you spend all your money before you get to the 3rd or the 4th shop. Like when you go to a bigger town, like where we live, there's no comic shops, so it's like not a real problem here. But yeah, when you're out somewhere in a bigger town, you can definitely get a little bamboozled by the overwhelming selection of some of these places.
Yeah, some of these places that have like a large back issue selection is amazing. And to have constantly like incoming books. Because comic shops, they're buying new titles, and so when they're putting those out there, they're constantly rotating,
they're bringing in collections
and adding to, their back issue selection. That's awesome when they do that, if they can stay on top of it. That's great.
All right, well, let's jump on to number 3 on the list. Matt, what do you got?
All right. Shops that have other merch, like toys, statues, figures, posters, T-shirts, all kinds of other stuff, like games, like I mentioned Emerald City. That place was fantastic because my wife is really into board games, and they have an enormous board game selection. Like, oh my God, this is great. My wife can go do this while I'm digging through comics. This is great stuff. They have statues, figures, and like I said, posters, T-shirts. They got everything in that place. Emerald City, I can't praise them enough. What a well-run comic shop. That place is great, and it's huge.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, just a big fan.
Just a fan.
You guys are doing great work over there. Keep it up.
Now, you know what? I'm going to tell a little bit of a story about when I was a kid. I used to love this. When I got into collecting in, let's just say it's around 4th or 5th grade. I don't remember exactly. I was a little kid, 8 years old or something. I first got into sports cards. So I'd go into the sports card stores. But back in those days, it was an everything store. So you'd go look at the sports cards and you'd look across the room and be like, what's all that? And you go over there and be like, oh, these are comics. And you'd look at the other side of the room, what's all that? Oh, this is Dungeons and Dragons and miniatures. And there was just a wide variety of things that were all tangentially related. They all really kind of appealed to the same type of person.
Sure.
And I was exposed to so many new interests and new hobbies because of the diversity of merchandise that the stores back in those days carried, that it really kind of was a big part of my formative years. Now, that's not to say that if, you're just a small comic store with just comics, that's a bad thing. We love those types of stores as well. I mean, nothing beats going into a store with comic books. But when you got some statues or action figures or whatever else to browse and look at, we love that.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing on this list. We're not saying everybody has to do these things.
Yeah.
We're just saying, hey, it's great when you walk in someplace and this is what you get. This is like our wish list of comic shop stuff. But yeah, if you walk into a place and there's just comics, hey, I love that too. Like I said, a large back issue selection. I'm there all day. I'm gonna be there till you close.
Yeah,
going through stuff. Yeah,
Have you ever watched sort of off topic. Well, not off topic explicitly, but have you ever watched any of? I know you've never been there, but any of the walkthroughs of Mile High Comics on YouTube?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Talk about a back issue selection. That place is bananas, crazy.
Oh my god, I would love to spend like a day just looking at stuff.
That's one of those things where it's like I'll never find myself in Colorado. It's Colorado, I think. Where is that, right? Denver, Mile High.
Mile High. Yeah.
I'll never find myself there, but it's one of those things where maybe you might just say, like, I'm going to take a trip. Like, sure. I'm just going to see that.
Colorado's a pretty state. I actually lived in Wyoming for about 2 years, and we would go down to Colorado all the time. Well, for the skiing, mostly.
Yeah. But on top of the comics, I mean, I say he, I mean, it's probably a they. I don't know the owner's name off the top of my head. Chuck something. Seems like a cool guy, though. But anyway, I believe
it's Chuck Mile High.
It might be.
I believe so.
But not only do they have a gazillion comic books, they've got just case after case of statues and just everything that you could just choke a cow with. There's so much awesome stuff in that place. I would love to go there.
So if you're not doing all the things on this list, doesn't mean you're a bad comic shop. We're just saying these are awesome things about comic shops.
Yeah. Speaking of awesome things, let's jump on to number 4. Is that you? I think you're up.
No, I think it's your turn.
So the 4th thing on the list is high-end comic books available out to sea, wall books. The stuff that's not going to be sitting in the long boxes, which you're probably going to pay a few bucks for. Having a big selection and having stuff accessible, being able to say, hey, could I take a look at that? And they'll hand it to you. I mean, that's key. Because, if you're going to make a purchase decision in the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, you want to scrutinize the book a little bit. But having that selection available and accessible is awesome. And again, not to say that if you have a small or very minimal selection of higher end books, you're a bad store, but having a great selection of high end books is awesome.
If you have like some high end stuff, have it out. I mean, not like on the sitting there on the register, but like have it in a case or up on the wall behind the register, things like that. When I go into a comic shop and I see they got some high-end books up there, I'm like, okay, this is a quality place that's going to have some nice stuff. Again, I'm going to be here a while. But to have your more prestige books out, high-end books like in a case or somewhere out that people can see, I mean, that to me, that's just drawing more customers in. That just makes sense. Yeah.
Some people are probably going to say, like, of course, the comic book shop is going to have their high-end books out.
No.
Like, what's wrong? No, and I want to tell this story. Remember when you went into a store not long ago and you're like, I'm looking for XYZ, and the guy said something like, well, I got 5 of those at home.
Why aren't they here? Why aren't they for sale?
So it's not always that the high-end books are obviously out and available. So when they are, it's like, ooh, boy, it's like Candyland. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know, yeah. And I mean, even if you don't want to buy it or it's too expensive for you, just to look at it. Man. Just to see it in that case, to just, not necessarily go through it, because I would never do that. But just to see it there, oh my God, that's really cool. Hey, the first appearance of Ghost Rider, whatever. That's awesome.
I mean, you walk into a comic book store and they have an Amazing Fantasy 15 sitting in the case. I mean, you're not going to buy it. You know that's not coming home with you, but just to get to behold the magnificence.
That's cool.
That is really cool. And again, I'm not saying every comic store has to have an Amazing Fantasy 15 in their display case. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it is really awesome when you get to experience those kind of things, even if it's just in passing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But that's number 4 on the list. Why don't you give us the rundown for number 5?
Okay, this is going to be more for like online sales, and a lot of comic shops do sell things online. Let
me interrupt you on this though, and I apologize, but a lot of people are potentially going to say, like, what does online sales have to do with your local comic book shops? For a lot of us included, online is our local comic shop. Yeah. That's the only option we got. And that's why we're going to include some online discussions.
Well, and a lot of comic shops do sell things online.
Yes.
A lot of comic shops have, they sell things on eBay, or you can even purchase comics from their website.
Yep.
Which I've seen. That's seems to be more rare than anything, but I have seen comic shops that you can purchase directly from them.
I got a shipment. I got a shipment coming from my comic shops. I buy from their website pretty often.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually have a brick and mortar.
Lone
Because
Star?
I know they're based in Texas. If they had a brick and mortar store, I would go out of my way to go to that place because they have an amazing selection of titles. But anyway, this refers to online sales from comic shops or through eBay that they sell on eBay. Is just good communication.
Yeah.
I purchased a book from a comic shop online. Just, you know what? You don't even have to send me a message. Just like, okay, hey, postage label created. Post office has the package, whatever. Just some sort of communication that acknowledges, okay, yes, you purchased this book. We're on top of it. And the overwhelming majority of the time, any online purchases I make, that's how it's handled.
Almost always.
Yeah, almost always. Prompt communication to let me know, okay, yes, we are aware of this sale. We're on top of it. And I'm getting regular updates on the book. Or even more often than not, I'm getting messages from the seller saying, hey, okay, yes, we got you. Thanks for your purchase, and we're mailing your book out right away. That's amazing. I love that. That's a great experience, and that's going to keep me coming back and buying things from you.
On the other side of that coin, there is occasions, rare though they are, that you don't get good communication. That's why we bring this up. I mean, it is probably when you're in this online world, beyond like selection and price and everything else, one of the most important things is being able to reach the dealer and be like, hey, if there was a problem, can you help me out with this problem? And they're like, yeah, no problems. Maybe they sent you the wrong book. Maybe you just don't want the book for whatever reason.
Happened. I've gotten the wrong book.
You want to be able to reach these people and communicate with them and work out any issues. And like Matt said, be notified of the process. There's nothing worse than waiting 2 weeks and not having no idea where your order is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It just randomly shows up at your door one day.
So yeah, online communication, both in that automated sense of just getting notifications about the processing of your order, and after sales service and support. And, just taking care of the customers. If anything does happen to come up, that's a problem.
Yeah. Like I said, it's happened to me. I've gotten the wrong book. I mean, it doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. I mean, I've bought a lot of things online over the years.
Yeah.
And I've gotten the wrong book. And the majority of the time, they tell me, and you know what? My bad. I apologize. Keep it.
Yeah, I've had that happen once or twice. It was a cheapie.
Yeah, we're not talking like a $100 book or anything.
It's not like when CGC sent you 3 copies of Amazing Fantasy 15 on
No, it's not like that. They wanted those back.
They wanted those ones
promptly. Yeah. But yeah, most of the time they just tell me to keep it. But there was one time I did buy like a more expensive book and they sent me the wrong one. And it was probably an equally expensive book, if not more so. And they did want that back. And, they were polite. They were professional. Hey, here's a shipping label. I had no problem working with them, sending that book back and making sure I got the correct book. You know what? Just keep it professional, good communication, both ways, back and forth. And what a pleasant experience. And I've bought from them again and again and again.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's jump on to number 6. And I'm going to do this one. I'm going to leave number 6 on the list for you. I'm going to jump on to number 7. But don't worry. As far as you guys are concerned, I'm just doing number 6. So number 6 is an online presence. And this is actually really cool when a local store, maybe not super local, because like again for us, like there's stores that are maybe an hour's drive away that we might want to go to occasionally. Yeah. But if you have a strong online presence with Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and you're saying like, here's some new stuff that just came in, check this out. Any sort of communication that gives me a reason to want to jump in the car and make that hour-long drive. That is amazing. I love seeing that.
We used to have the last comic shop we had before they closed down. They would do that regularly, where they would get new titles in, or people would bring in and sell their older books and stuff. He would post on Facebook, "Hey, these are some books that just came in the door. I'm pricing them out right now." Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. You're grabbing your keys in your wallet and heading to the car.
Because he got some books in one time, and there was one in particular. I'm like, oh my God, I've been hunting for that. And I messaged him right away and said, hey, what condition is that in? How does it look? What price are you looking at? And we agreed on a price, and I drove right there and got it because I've been looking for it forever. But yeah, that was really cool when he would do that, when he would let everybody know. But unfortunately, he did go out of business.
That was Hero Trader?
Hero Trader, that's unfortunate. I did because it was pretty far from us.
Well, it was a great store, but it was in the next city over. Yeah. So for me, it was easily a 45-minute drive. Yeah, it
was a haul to get there, and especially he had regular business hours. The only times I could ever get there during the week is on the weekends. And he's, sometimes, I got a family, I got a job, I got a house, it's tough sometimes. So we would try to get there when we first, but just being so far away, it was a problem.
But, you see that Facebook post or that Instagram post. And
I went out of my way to make a trip up there to get that one book.
Honey, we're not going to mow the lawn today. We're going to take a trip to Fort Myers.
And you know what? Every time when I would go, I'd try to get up there like probably once a month or so. Yeah. Again, he had like a rotating, selection of back issues. And I would end up dropping like a few $100s every time I went there. Yeah, easily. Yeah, he always had like new old stuff, you know.
Yeah, great store. It's a shame that it's gone. Even though it was a little bit of a hike. Shame that it's gone.
One thing I will say, I do go out. Like I said, I go out of town quite a bit, and when I'm out of town and I'm scrolling through the area, like, okay, what are some comic shops in the area? And I got to decide, okay, which ones am I going to go to?
Yeah.
You know, because I'm out of town doing things. I'm not there just to go to comic shops.
You just happen to be somewhere.
I happen to be in Tampa.
Jacksonville?
Jacksonville.
You were there
I was in
recently.
Jacksonville a couple months ago. And I'm there to do other things. But when I get the time, I want to go to comic shops. So I have to decide, okay, which ones am I going to go to? And if they have some kind of Facebook page or, you know, some kind of website where I can go on there and check, okay, because I'm looking for back issues when I'm out of town. I'm not looking to subscribe to new stuff, obviously. And if you got some like photos, you can have a description of your store. You can say, okay, this is what we have here. It just some photos. You know, photos alone is a big deciding factor for me if I'm going to hit up your comic shop or not.
I just saw this was cool. My buddy, another friend named Matt, not this Matt, my other Matt buddy, sent me a link to a shop in Bradenton, which is kind of near Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a hike. Like it would take 2.5 hours to get there, right? So he sent me this link. He was, check out this comic book store. I went on their website. They had a 3D virtual walkthrough tour of their store. I was like, wow. Like I literally know what I'm in. Nothing's worse than getting in the car and driving for maybe hours to go see something. You're like, oh, I'm here and it's not worth 10 minutes of my time.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying everyone needs to have a 3D virtual tour
But
of
that's
their
pretty
store.
cool.
But that was pretty cool. I was like, okay, I want to go there.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll be out of town and I'm deciding, okay, which shops do I want to hit up? And I'll see that you got some really good photos of your shop and everything you have in there. You know what? I'm going to go hit you up for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's do number 7, and then we will probably wrap this one up. We've got our top 7 comic shop green flags. What do you got for number 7?
Okay, fostering goodwill in the comic community. And that can be done several ways. I'll go into a comic shop and, you know, they're letting me know, hey, what are you looking for? And I'll tell them, hey, this is what I'm primarily looking for. And they'll even tell me like, okay, well, we have this and this, but you know what? We don't have a lot of that stuff. We don't have any of the older Marvel horror comics and stuff, because I do collect those. But you know what? There's another shop in town called, Cosmic Comics. He's got a lot of older stuff. You should go check him out. That's awesome. When other comic shops recommend other comic shops to you because they recognize their shortcomings of what they have and don't have, and they can say, hey, this guy, he has what you're looking for. You should go check him out.
It's not even really shortcomings. It's like, hey, this is what I specialize in. That's what that guy specializes in.
But as far as, shortcomings, as far as like what you're looking for.
Right.
Because we are the customer. We're not comic shop owners, But yeah, for a comic shop to recommend you going to another comic shop, that's pretty cool. That is really cool. That tells you there's a lot of goodwill there. That's always awesome.
Yeah, I like the comic book stores, like back in the day when we did have a bunch here in town. They're just down the street from each other, but it was never like a competitive sort of like, oh, screw those guys, don't go over there, go here. They were always very amicable towards one another and happy to share the customers, basically. So, no negativity. It was always a very positive experience. Of course, again, now they're all gone, so we don't have to worry about it. But yeah, having a strong community is awesome. Part 2 of this, though, for me, is just it's almost like the town square for the comic nerds. We'd meet up every Wednesday at noon. Every Wednesday at noon, me, Matt, Roberto, Ulysses was there. Maybe Martin, the owner's brother-in-law, he would be hanging out there.
Frenchie,
the co-owner, co-worker at the comic book store. It would be like where we would hang out for an hour or two every Wednesday, chat about comics, chat about whatever, really. Me and Bob would talk football all the time. Yeah. And
we would talk about artwork.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Stories, our favorite stuff. Oh, yeah.
But that's another part of creating the community that, like, it's an inviting place to be, and you're welcomed. And it's like, I don't want to use the cliche, it's like family, but I mean, it's getting there. It's kind of like a ritual once a week. It was so nice to be like, all right, it's noon. I'm going to head over to the comic book store and hang out with my buddies for an hour.
Yeah.
I loved that aspect.
Yeah, and also when they're aware of other events and things going on in the area.
Oh, little local shows,
like little local shows. I've been to many comic shops. Hey, we're having a small one-day show in town. You should go check it out. They might not even be there to sell or anything. They were just letting you know, hey, there's an event going on. You might be interested in going to.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool as hell. That's really cool. So yeah, just fostering goodwill within the community. When a comic shop workers or owners do that, that's great. Great. I love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do a quick recap. Our 7 comic shop green flags. That's a working title. I don't know what the actual title of this video will be. I got to kind of brainstorm it when I make the thumbnail. But our 7, and there's not only 7. You guys definitely leave yours down in the comments below.
Yeah. If there's something your comic shop is doing right, let us know. And you know what? When you go to comic shops, let them know what they're doing right.
Yeah.
Say, hey, I like that you do this.
Yeah.
This is awesome that you're doing this. I like that all my new comics I get, you're bag and boarding it for me. I'm not saying everybody has to do that, but
it's little
things like that your comic shop does. Let them know when they're doing right. Everybody loves hearing that. But you know what? Let them know when they're doing things wrong too.
Yeah.
Because no business can improve if you don't get feedback.
Yeah, feedback, accountability, hold them. Yeah, hold them to it. But yeah, quick recap here. Knowledgeable staff, that was our number 1.
Yeah.
That is huge. Large back issues, not necessarily required, but we love it when we see it.
Yeah.
Other merchandise, me and Matt are both kind of Matt a little bit more if I'm being honest, but we're both a little bit into action figures and stuff. So seeing that stuff on the shelves is great.
I should post some photos of my Marvel Universe line. I have the entire run of Marvel Universe 3 3/4 inch figures.
His living room, it's not technically your living room, but like this little extra room.
Little front room. I call it my nerd room.
Your extra room looks like a toy store. It's crazy.
I have all my figures on wire shelves and stuff. It's crazy.
Let us know in the comments below. Do you want to see Matt's toy and figure collection? How many yes, we want to see your figure collection do we need before we do that video?
1.
Just 1. All right. Well, if one of you guys wants to see
Who doesn't love showing off their stuff?
Yeah. But going on, higher end books. Yeah, we love seeing higher end books. And again, not something you have to be a quote unquote good store or anything, but the more you have, the better in our opinions.
Yeah.
Online sellers, good communication, good after sales customer service. We loved seeing that. An online presence so that we can see what's going on with you and your business and your store from day to day.
New things going on in the store. What do you got going on? Any special events? Any sales? What do you got in the store? New stuff coming in. Yeah, that's awesome.
Keep us up to date, please. And then finally, as Matt said, fostering the comic book community. That's like just, icing on top of the cake.
Yeah.
I mean, what more could you ask for? Well, what do you think? Do you got any final thoughts on this before we wrap it up?
No, that's it. That's it.
All right. Well, this was a great idea, and I'm glad Matt brought this one up to us. It's something that when we did the original video, we were like, oh, we should do like the yin and yang, the positives of it. And when we did that first video, and finally just getting around to it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, let us know in the comments below.
And if you're in the Clearwater area, Emerald City Comics. It's a great store.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're going to have to take a road trip one of these days and go visit that one because I've never been there.
It's nice.
But thanks, as always, for tuning in and watching. We greatly appreciate it. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, help YouTube, help us, and let them know that you enjoy what we're doing here so that they will share this video with more people. That's how it works. Leave a comment and click those buttons. I didn't mention it, but we are doing a giveaway. We hit 7,000 subscribers.
We can't thank you guys enough. That's awesome.
But when we hit 10,000 subscribers, we're going to do a giveaway. I won't play the whole giveaway video. I'll just tell you real quick. We're giving away a full run of the Wolverine miniseries from 1982.
You are out of your mind.
Here's what happened. I bought 2 sets. I bought one set. I was at a comic book store and they had the whole set there. And I'll be honest, I overpaid a little bit, but I just wanted it. And then another guy that I routinely buy from online posted a set for sale at a really, really good price. And I was like, okay, I can't pass this one up.
In even better condition.
Yeah. So
not to say these are in bad condition. It's just that's the one that he bought. I've seen it's even better.
So yeah. So one of you guys is going to get that second set that I have when we hit 10,000 subscribers. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have the notifications turned on because I'm going to do a video where I officially announce the giveaway when we hit 10,000 subscribers. And you do need to see that video. I have no way of reaching out to a person directly. YouTube doesn't allow me to like email you or message you in any way, shape, or form. So we use that giveaway announcement video as a method for leaving comments and selecting a winner. You don't want to miss that.
Yeah.
Now, with all that said, I'll wrap this one up today, and I will say, as I always do, keep collecting comic books, keep supporting your local comic book stores, keep watching our videos because we need your support as well. And until the next one, bye now.